Hey guys, it's Morgan, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Alienated by Melissa Landers. So my friend Heather and I started doing a book club, and the first book that we picked was Alienated. We have done a live show and a collab, both of which I will link in the description box below. We will continue this book club through the month of September with the book The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. I will put a link in the description to a place where you can purchase it, so that you can read along with us and join in on the live stream. The paperback is like $7, it's not very unreasonable, and it promises to be a really great fantasy book. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on my review, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Okay, so Alienated is about a girl who is the queen of overachieving. She is valedictorian, she's in all the clubs, she's the queen of debate. Because of this, she gets picked to be the host for the first alien exchange student in the USA. This doesn't go over so well because most of the world starts hating these aliens right after they come down to Earth. But she falls in love with the alien. Of course, what did you expect? He's a sexy alien because he looks just like a human. And craziness ensues, and it's a pretty good book. It doesn't really pick up until page 250 or so, 275. But overall, I liked it, and it promises to be the first book in a really good series. Okay, so the first thing that I have to address is this cover. I love this cover. It is amazing. My mom stared at it transfixed for about 2 minutes when we first bought it, which is a long time considering the fact that my mom isn't normally transfixed by book covers. So this is the cover, and it's amazing. So, the book... Okay, so I'm going to start with the good parts about the book. The good parts were the action and the romance. I really loved the kissing scene, and I don't know who didn't love the kissing scene. It was amazing. It was so sexy without actually having sex take place. It was really good. Spoilers ahead if you don't want to be spoiled. But that's kind of obvious, so the kissing scene is magical and amazing, and I loved it so much. It's so steamy, and however, the steaminess of this scene could be a disadvantage for some people who don't like reading steamy scenes. It wasn't sex, but it got fairly close. It was a little close for comfort for someone who wouldn't enjoy a scene like that or doesn't want it to get anywhere near that. But I would suggest against this for someone who doesn't really have any interest in reading something super steamy, because it got really steamy. It got to the steaminess of Eleanor and Park's hand-holding. If you've read Eleanor and Park, you know that is the steamiest scene in literature. So that was the good. The action was really awesome. The ending was really crazy. The kissing was really awesome. The characters were really good. And the bad was the fact that it didn't pick up until page 275 out of 330. I love reading. I love reading good books. I like reading books that don't pick up until close to the end. But I like my books to be good and at least by page 150. I like to be captivated. I like to not feel like I'm wasting my time. This book took me 3 weeks to read because it felt like I was wasting my time because it was so boring to me. But it really does take a while. I'm hoping that the sequel will kind of go quicker. This book was mostly building up to that, building up to them being where they have to be for the sequel, and it took a little while to get where it was going, but once it got there, it was awesome. Okay, I'm also going to talk about inconsistency in characters. There were a few times that Melissa Landers dropped her characters. She, especially with the side characters, every so often there would be a blip where I would be like, that character would never do that. For example, Tori, Kara, the main character's best friend, decided to hook up with Kara's ex-boyfriend. Tori and Kara were best friends. And I have a really hard time, no matter how mad Tori was, I have a really hard time believing that she would have hooked up with Kara's ex. There were also a few times where the parents were inconsistent, but I can waive that because at the very least there were parents in this book. A lot of times there aren't parents in YA books, and so it was refreshing to see some parents in this book. However, there won't be as many parents in the next book. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the ending because, oh my god. So Earth starts hating the Lairs, and the Lairs are like, okay, we're taking our kids back. We're taking these teenagers back. They had 3 exchange students. One of them was killed. And they decided to take them back. And Alex, who was Kara's alien exchange student, decided to take Kara with him and snuck her on his spaceship. Yes, I just said that sentence. No, I never thought I would. But this goes horribly wrong when the aliens get mad at them and decide to send Alex back to Earth and keep Kara on the alien planet. And that's kind of where it ends. There is a novella that branches between the first book and the second book. I've not read it yet, but I'm sure that it branches some of those gaps, and I cannot wait to get to read it. So, that's about all I have to say about this book. It was crazy, it was weird, but it was pretty good. My warning is for the people who might want to read it in the future. There are some cuss words. Most of them are in an alien language, but some of them are not. There is some with too close for comfort, almost sex scenes. And there is some action and as someone gets killed. If these things are too crazy for you, don't read this book. But these aren't things that would really turn you off. Please read this. It's a very, very good book. And I highly, highly suggest it. So that's all I have to say. I hope you guys like this video. And if you liked this video, please consider reading The Wrath of the Dawn with us as part of our book club so that you can be in the know when we do our next reviews. You can also look forward to a review of My Grandmother Told Me to Tell You She's Sorry, because I am part of a book tour for that. As always, I will leave my social media names in the description box below. I hope you go check me out. I do some pretty interesting stuff on both Instagram and Twitter. Okay guys, I will see y'all soon. Bye humans!